YouTube, this is Fear the Ghost. Now, I know I've uploaded probably quite a few videos today. This is going to be, I think this is going to be the third one I'm uploading. I'm not sure about the exact order I'll be uploading them in yet. As you can probably tell, I am on Pokemon Showdown. You can see the name up here in the corner. Let's look at my teams. I have a few teams made. Most of them are pretty bad because I'm not a very serious player. Let's look at one of my favorite Pokemon, though. This is Sableye. Sableye is one of my favorites in this entire game. Now, I know that there's a lot of people who do not like Sableye at all. And I'd have to say, they have a reason. Now, it's a good Pokemon. That's not the issue. The issue is what Sableye does. And for those of you who don't know what Sableye does is it goes out onto the field, sits there in front of you, and twerks. That's all it does. It sits there and twerks after putting a status effect on you and watching your Pokemon slowly die. Now, it's an extremely nasty Pokemon to come across in a 1 versus 1, unless your Pokemon has a fairy type move. Because if you don't know, Sableye's typing is, come on, let's show the nice people, Dark Ghost. And Dark Ghost has only one weakness, and it did not have it until X and Y. Its only weakness is, you guessed it, the fairy type. Oh, and before I forget, I hope that I fixed the microphone issue because I realized that it was pretty low. And so I figured out how to fix it. Thanks to my uncle who helped me find the software to actually start recording and who's been looking over my videos so that way I can bring you quality videos. Now, I have a Little Cup team. I don't think it's very good, but I'm going to tell you my favorite Pokemon on it. My favorite Pokemon on it is Eevee. Little Eevee. Now, before I had Life Orb, I had Choice Band. Now, Choice Band is really not that good for Little Cup, but it did give some advantages to me that Life Orb didn't. For one thing, back when I had Choice Band, I could actually one-shot anything that didn't have an immunity or resistance to normal with the Double Edge. Even the Munchlax. Even Eviolite Munchlax fell before this Eevee's Double Edge when it was Choice Banded. Now that being said, there's a lot of times where having the Choice Band killed my Eevee. So, I switched to this. And also, if I go through my team, you'll notice a lot of them, well, not really, 3 of them. So half my team actually has hidden power. Now, the reason for this is I needed that type somewhere on my team, so I pretty much just gave it to the Pokemon I thought would need it the most. Eevee needs Hidden Power Grass to deal with those rock types. Gastly needs Ground to deal with, what are they called? The poison types that he normally can't do anything to. And Steel types. And then there's Staryu with Fighting. The Fighting generally helps against... What do I generally use against? Magnemites. It's generally used against Magnemites and Pawniard. Pawniard is very common in Little Cup, from what I've seen. So, over here on Wooper, I have Earthquake, Encore, Aquatail, and Toxic. It may seem like a weird move set, but Eviolite Wooper causes some issues, especially to setup Pokemon. Setup Pokemon do not like Wooper because it gets Unaware, which, if you don't know, the ability Unaware makes it, I won't say unaffected, but it makes it so that any status boosts you give your Pokemon do not matter. If you have plus attack from something like Swords Dance, it will do nothing against Wooper. It will do the same amount it would usually do. Now, some people don't realize that Wooper gets this ability, and will try to set up on Wooper thinking they'll one-shot it once they're done. But they don't. We also have Inkay over here. Inkay is a dark psychic type. It's a really weird typing, and it also has this superpower. Lowers the user's attack and defense by 1. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, why is that good? Well, I'll tell you. It's mainly good because it has this ability over here, Contrary. If you don't know what Contrary does, it's right here. If this Pokemon has a stat boosted, it is lowered instead, and vice versa. Now, this may be kind of confusing. I know some people didn't quite get this ability when it first came out, so I will explain it briefly. Superpower lowers the user's attack and defense by 1. However, with Contrary, by using Superpower, you will actually be increasing your attack and defense by 1, because that's what your ability does. I also have the item on it, Berry Juice, which restores 20 HP when at half maximum HP or less. Obviously, it's single use, but as most people know, in Wi-Fi battles, your item gets restored after you're done. Its moveset is the superpower, for obvious reasons. Night Slash, because it's stab, because it's dark, and because it's one of its most powerful dark stab moves. That's physical, and it has a high critical hit ratio. It also has Psycho Cut, because it's one of the few physical psychic moves, and it's stab. Lastly, it has Thief. The reason I put Thief on Inkay is because it will use the Berry Juice. Once the Berry Juice is used, I have a free item slot for Thief to take an opposing Pokemon. Generally, what I wind up stealing is an Eviolite, which is really nasty for the opposing Pokemon. I have stolen many an Eviolite off of Pokemon, and it really benefits Inkay. Now, you may be wondering, why Thief? Why Berry Juice? Well, I couldn't think of an item to actually put it on Inkay. Inkay is pretty frail, as can be noted over here. It's pretty frail, but it's got good attack. Now, Inkay takes a lot of... You may have noticed I actually changed that there. I don't remember why I had it that way. It's not that way on any other Pokemon. Huh. This was actually what I was wanting. I don't know why it was the other way. I think it was left over from something I was messing with. But anyway, the Berry Juice is a one-use item. For most Little Cup members, Inkay included, restore your HP to basically full. If you notice over here, it has 21 base HP, which means if you go anywhere between about 11 or so HP down to 1, Berry Juice will fully restore all of your HP. As I said, it's a single use item, and it enables me to be able to use Thief. Over here, we have Drillbur, who also holds the Berry Juice. He has Mold Breaker, because I have to deal with Magnemites. A lot of Magnemites. Because Magnemites are very strong if you make them right. Most Magnemites will deal about 50% with a single Thunderbolt to my Ghastly. Or not Ghastly, the Duskull I had. I had a Duskull before. Eviolite Duskull. Mac with a lot of special defense and a lot of defense with Eviolite and HP investment, and it dealt 50% to it every time. So, yeah, that's why this was born. I traded Duskull for Wooper. I traded him for Wooper. Staryu I've kept around since I first created the team. Ghastly and Eevee I've also kept around. I did change Staryu's moveset slightly. Before it had a Thunderbolt, Hydro Pump, a Recover, and let me see, what was its other move? I had... Where are you? Where are you? You're somewhere down here. I think it was Power Gem. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Power Gem. So I had those two... No, Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon was the other one. A Steel type in order to counter the raining fairy types that I, for some reason, decided didn't need something to deal with when I made the team originally. So I gave Drillbur Poison Jab. He has Poison Jab because of fairy types. That's it. It's the only reason he has it. Thunderbolt for obvious reasons. Other water types. Chinchou's fairly common. The thing is, with Chinchou, it has both Water Absorb and Volt Absorb. So you're never sure which one's actually going to be coming out, which makes it a very annoying Pokemon to deal with. We also have Eevee, I explained. Oh, I didn't explain Bite. The reason Eevee has Bite is because of the Ghost types and the Psychic types. Eevee has pretty much nothing else that will actually wind up hitting them. It really doesn't have very many attacks that are not water that will actually hit anything. It does get Shadow Ball, but it doesn't really have that decent special attack. I mean, I guess it's okay, but it's not really all that good. Not compared to Ghastly over here. It would be like trying to get Ghastly to use physical attacks, pretty much. Oh, it has attack investment because I used to have Explosion on Ghastly, so I need to change that. Okay, that explains why I wasn't doing so much damage. Yeah, I dropped it down to 9. So that's why that was like that. I changed it now. I didn't mean for it to be like that. That was actually really stupid of me. It explains why I wasn't doing as much as I thought I should be. But anyway, Ghastly has the Sludge Bomb for fairy types and grass type coverage. I didn't have Sludge Bomb, and I found myself really regretting it. Energy Ball for the water types, Explain ground types, Shadow Ball, and that's all. Goodbye. My turn is